To any redditor whose wife/so had a baby that clearly wasn't yours, what's your story? Hi guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Was in a long-distance relationship with a girl in college. After going 2 months without a period, she took a pregnancy test which turned up positive. After informing me, I had to keep myself from panicking. I hate kids, and didn't work during college to avoid burning out. While she refused in pregnancy cancellation, she agreed to adopt out the baby when it was born. A week goes by and I get a massive wall of text from her in Skype that basically boils down to "I'm leaving you, the kid is not yours as my ex and I had a ton of unprotected romance, and the doctor confirmed that the date of conception isn't when you and I were together. I'm not sure why you didn't realize this already, but I'm sorry for everything." It's a weird mix of feelings to both go "yeah I'm not a dad" and "OMG, the girl I intended on marrying is pregnant with her ex's kid." Edit, it seems a few people are confused about the timescale. We dated for about 8 months. Her last period was around the 6-month mark. I had intended on marrying her, but had yet to actually propose, was planning to on our 1-year anniversary. I'm not sure why you didn't realize this already. Jesus Christ, I hate when people say poop like that. It's just trying to make you feel bad for the poop they did themselves. Ducking pushy. My dad is half Japanese. Bit strange since both my grandparents are white Russians. Edit, I should add that I was born after my mom and dad broke up. So my grandmother came to visit me in the hospital, but then went back and told my dad that I couldn't possibly be his because I was black. I'm so white I glow in the dark. So this is a little different, but a friend of mine came out black. Both parents were white. As you can imagine, it was more than a little concerning for dad. He accused mom of cheating and it turned into a big fight when she insisted she had not. Paternity test ensued showing that he was the father. Upon further investigation they found out that she had a black great-grandfather or something and it waited a generation or two to be expressed. So kind of the opposite of your question but related. I am now in my 50s. Back in my 20s, I was really desperate and dated a woman who was about 12 years older. About 9 months into our relationship, I go away to another state for a weekend trip. Come back and found out that she had given birth to a child. I was perplexed because she didn't seem pregnant and no one around us knew she was pregnant. She even said that she didn't know that she was pregnant. I'm black, the woman was white and the kid was powder white. But, I do have white in my family. I didn't believe the kid was mine because, 1, I would have had to impregnate her in the first month, possible, but I don't remember ejaculating, 2, she looks nothing like me, and 3, she's too light to have my genes. My mom convinces me that this has to be my kid because the woman says it is and that I have a mixed background. I want to believe it because not believing it means some other guy is the dad. But, my rational side says there is no way she's mine. So, we move in and eventually get married. The relationship doesn't last and we separate. I decide that I have to find out the truth, even though I know it. I get some money together and get a DNA test. Sure enough, I'm 99% excluded. I show the results to the mother and she says I'm wrong and the test is wrong and that I just don't want to be a dad. I tell her that I do, but I'm done paying child support. However, I give her the option to pay for another DNA test or go through the courts. She declined. I wish I could have my husband answer. I was a surrogate, so he knew about the entire thing before I was even pregnant. He had never seen a baby born before and said it was life-changing. Baby clearly was not ours. Not nearly as dramatic as other responses, I'm sure. Many years ago, I got a Subway sandwich, and found the girl behind the counter was incredibly flirty with me. Later, it was if she wanted to hurry up and do the thing. We did. I pulled out. And a later date, soon after, she gave me a wrapper to use so I didn't have to pull out. How ironic that it magically broke while I was in her. Days later she tells me she's pregnant. I stuck it out. Until when she was supposed to be 3 months pregnant, but looked 5 to 6 months. Then surprisingly, not, she was having a premature delivery. The kid that came out was completely done cooking. Full head of hair, able to lift his head to look around with eyes wide open. She still stuck to her story that it was mine. We took a blood test and it wasn't mine. That woman knew what she was doing. Which tried to ruin my life. I have a friend from Sudan. Hooked up with a white girl at a college party. Just a one-night stand, until 9+ months later she tracked him down for a paternity test. She was living with her white boyfriend and his parents. They threw her a shower, built a nursery, were at the delivery. And in true sitcom-esque fashion she didn't give any indication it wasn't his until her little fro popped out of her. My Sudanese friend and his current wife have primary custody of the lovely 10-year-old girl and one of their own. Birth mom continues to make poor choices. Edit, thanks nice redditor who corrected us to ask. Duck off to grumpy redditors that mock people to feel superior. Well, there was a chance their baby was the boyfriend's up until it wasn't. Both my parents are brown with black hair and brown eyes. I came out white with blonde hair and blue eyes. My dad didn't believe I was his. My brother was born white with blonde hair and blue eyes. We look like our dad, so there's no denying we aren't his. The baby was very hairy. Looked like a monkey. I claimed it couldn't be mine because of the hair. All my other kids were not hairy. Turned out it was my baby. My husband said I told you so. My ex-wife and I had been married for 6 years and we finally decided it was time to have a second baby. I work as a VP of sales for a popular restaurant chain, and travel extensively as part of my job. After trying for a few months, when I was home from traveling, she finally got pregnant. Things were going great and our male Nigerian nanny who helped out with my young daughter and my wife with chores around the house when I was traveling for work was doing an amazing job. When the baby was born, it was immediately clear it was not mine. My wife and I are both white, and the baby was very dark. I walked out of the delivery room shocked, left the hospital, drove aimlessly for a while chain-smoking cigarettes, and finally checked into a hotel off the highway when it started getting dark out. Turns out my Nigerian nanny knocked up my wife while I was away traveling for work, and they had been sleeping together for years. We sold the house and got a divorce soon after, and share custody of our daughter. She got remarried to the nanny and they just bought a home together a few towns away. I live in an apartment near our daughter's school, and started dating again recently. Username checks out. I'm pretty sure my dad and one of his brothers do not belong to my grandfather. His other 2 siblings look just like their dad, even his sister. But he and his younger brother look nothing like him and have dark hair, which is the wrong hair color for anyone else in our family. But if that's true, then I have no idea what my grandfather thought about it. Found out when she was 1.5. She is gonna be 10 in a week and you can't tell me she isn't mine. I always wanted to be a dad. I was so excited and happy when my girlfriend told me she was pregnant. I fell in love the instant she held my thumb the day she was born. Fast forward 2 years and 2 months when I found my daughter wasn't mine. I was crushed and beat to the ground, but I got back up. I left her mom, but have never for a second thought about leaving her. She turns 4 this summer and she is my world. She's my daughter no matter what a test tells me. I love her more than I've ever loved anything. I was a military police officer a long time ago. About 25% of the household harm calls I went on were for either the couple birthed a child that clearly wasn't the father's, usually a young, white couple from the country, and she'd hook up with the first black dude she's ever seen, or the soldier would get home from deployment and spouse is pregnant for less than the time he was gone. A special shout out to the lady in 97 who would let everyone at Fort Campbell, at the traffic circle inside Gate 6, know her husband was deployed. She'd mow her grass every morning, at 5:45 a.m. when Joes were just getting on base for morning PT, in high heels and mini skirt. Then the red porch light at 4:30 when they were all going home. One of the best police reports I've ever wrote. I was away from my wife at a conference when she was impregnated. We hadn't been intimate in months. I was too focused on my work and I regret that now. I'm more attentive in my marriage. I never met the biological father to my son. But it doesn't matter because in my son's heart, he is my boy, and not that alien bastard's. I just wish my buddy John Redcorn would have done a better job of keeping my wife from being abducted while I was away. Turns out my grandma's biological father was the painter. Things like that were extremely looked down upon, so she didn't find out until after her parents' head was peacefully deleted and her sister told her.